Hello again, and welcome back to Advance Wars Story. There are only 6 maps left in this campaign, and from what I remember, this upcoming map is a lot of fun, so I'd like to jump into it straight away. It seems that the player CO is Lash, and the enemy CO is also Lash. That's because we're playing as the Black Hole Army for the first time, so in keeping with the rules for what the enemy CO portrait displays, it's going to display a Black Hole CO, and that so happens to be Lash in this case because we're playing as Black Hole. So there you go. So all of the Black Hole COs have gathered. And it seems they've all gotten a message from Lash. A spaceship, huh? It's right here in Blue Moon. Are there other planets? This is actually a shocking revelation. What other planets would there be in War's world? Are they going to the moon? Is this going to turn into Nectarus? That would actually be pretty cool. We need like some kind of Advance Wars on the moon kind of thing. That's basically what Nectarus was, also known as Military Madness. Ah, so that's why Lash wants it. Of course. Yeah, it kind of makes sense for the ship to land in Blue Moon because Sturm's entire thing in Advance Wars 1 was trying to get Blue Moon to attack Orange Star and instigating the entire conflict that way. And Sturm himself is guarding it. Yes, we know he's alive already. With other words? I think you mean in other words. That's weird. What a weird typo. Okay, so we're taking the spaceship from him. Sounds like a lot of fun. And it means we all get to team up again. Or do we? Ah, and the dialogue box changes to blue. That's, a little bit strange, but it looks like Lash is gonna fight all of her former allies. Party Crasher, that describes it pretty well. So yes, we play as the Black Hole Army, and as you can see on this map, we actually have our own mini cannons and black cannons. They work perfectly. They're in our control now. I mean, you can't control where they shoot or what they shoot at, but still, they fire in your favor this time. And this made the mission a lot of fun for me the first time I played. I was so excited. Like, what Advance Wars mission gives you black cannons for yourself? You know, the only way you can get mini cannons in a versus map in vanilla Advance Wars is if you're playing Dual Strike. 2 of the War Room maps, Fortress Isle and Watery Downs, I think, something like that, they have mini cannons on them, and since they're War Room maps, you can select them in versus mode. This isn't exactly up your alley, Lash. There's no mountains. And there's no cities either. So it's Lash against all 3 of the other Black Hole COs. Yeah, Adder's probably the biggest threat. He's got the shortest power meter out of all of them, but Hawk is still big, as you can imagine. Underpowered, you have all the units you need. Yep, there they go. They do in fact fire in your favor. The cannon targeting rules are the same as they've always been. Completely automated. So there is kind of a little bug with this mission that I think is a bit amusing. So if you take your sub and you dive it... Oh no, it's gone! This is because campaign mode has some sort of weird thing with drawing the black hole units, because it assumes that black hole is always going to be an enemy. So as soon as the sub dives, it assumes that it has to hide it from player view. However, if we take one of our other units and move it on top of the sub, because for some reason you can do that now, the copter is still there, but if you move one of the destroyers, hey, it's gone! And it's also gone. Can we move the copter on top too? Oh yes, we can do that. All of these units are just getting condensed into the same tile. Don't worry, all of your units are still there. They can still be moved on the next turn. So let me check the map objective, because this is interesting. Rout 1 enemy faction or capture 1 enemy HQ. You don't have to fight all 3 of these guys. You only have to find the weakest link and break through them. And that's probably going to be Flack, because Flack, the red units over here, he only has these 4 tanks and a bunch of units that are just going to get blown up by your subs. So I think we should focus on him for the most part. Let's get our units into these APCs and drop them over here. You can also fire at your own mini cannons and black cannons. I have no idea why you would do that. Unless one of these cannons were being a serious blockade or something. Like you wanted to get through them or whatever, but I don't really think you would do that. As long as you continue fighting inside the cannon range, you should be totally okay. And I'm gonna just move all of my units up. I want to get into the action as quickly as possible. And we've got ourselves a Neo-Tank, that's always nice. And shame about the rockets, they're gonna be moving so slowly, for the same reason they were moving slowly in the Blue Moon mission earlier. But yeah, we have black cannons now. Isn't that fun? It's gonna be a lot of fun, I imagine. Although, you do have to spend time moving all of these units. There's quite a lot of units on your side. I think keeping the anti-air on this side is probably a good idea, because Adder's the only one with the air units. He's the yellow units, by the way. Alright, so with all of these units moved... Oh yeah, I still have these guys over here. Let's see here. I don't wanna be in range of any enemy units, so I think this should suffice if I go here. Using the battleships to destroy the enemy sea units can be a bit annoying. They always find the blind spots, in my experience. All lash? You can handle all lash? Are there multiple lashes? Well, considering that robot clone Lash made... That was a robot clone, wasn't it? In the lab mission for Blue Moon? I think it was. I find it hard to imagine Lash would still be following Sturm and yet talk about trying to steal back the spaceship being guarded by Sturm, allegedly. So we definitely gotta be careful around Hawk, because the Neo-Tanks are probably the biggest threat to your units. Looking good so far. Although getting hit from the destroyer there was a little unplanned, but it's fine. Ah, the good news is that the black cannons are probably going to hit the Neo-Tanks when you want them to. Although for some reason this one went for the... No, this black cannon went for the Dreadnought. That makes sense. Okay, so you're probably wondering about these units here. Well, you can select the first unit and move it over. You can only select the unit that is being displayed. I think it's the topmost unit or the unit highest on the priority list or whatever. But you can move all of them. It's kind of weird looking, but you can still move all of them. Oh, this unit doesn't have anything else it can hit. Now, this is unfortunate because I would like to move the destroyer first to get the cruiser out of the way so I can hit the battleship. But that's not happening, unfortunately. So yeah, after the first turn, though, everything is going to be fine. You don't have to worry. There's no enemy cruisers down here, so I'll just shoot the battleship first. And for everybody else, I think I'm going to try and get over here in front of the black cannon. However, I'll move these units first. Can this cruiser get rid of the bomber? Yeah. Cruisers are way good against bombers for some reason. Look at that. And it's going to be a little annoying that I didn't manage to finish off the destroyer, but that'll be alright. A cruiser can finish the job for me. Sadly, the battlecopters and all of the other units are going off to the right, so those battleships are not going to be that useful. All of the units are basically going to get condensed into whatever area your units go to, because they don't have any properties to go after, in fact. They just have your HQ. But, keep the... It is kind of annoying to have to select weight instead of fire if you've got one of your own cannons in range, because nobody would fire at their own cannon, right? Don't tell me if there's a way to manipulate the AI into doing that. I don't want to know. So I'll just keep everybody over to the right. And it looks like Flack's infantry are kind of going for the center. I think they're doing that because the enemy HQ, for them at least, is in the center. So they're trying to get over there. Alright, that should be fine. I don't want to spend too much time on my turns. Alright, so here comes the first power of this map. I don't think Flack's going to actually go onto land with his sea units. I should be able to handle the battleships on the next turn. Probably going to have to do something about the destroyers, though. So if I avoid getting into too much conflict with Hawk, I think I should be fine. Yeah, also, the computer never fires at the mini-cannons because, like, the only time you see mini-cannons is in campaign and you're up against Black Hole, so why would Black Hole fire at their own mini-cannons? I think that's the basic assumption the game is making. So yes, Adder got his super very, very quickly. Let's see how much good it does him. I might be able to take him out first if the units move closer enough. Closer enough. My grammar is just off when I start recording. So yes, he's actually getting very close now. And that damage to the anti-air is actually a bad thing, because now... I think I got a little bit too close, but Lash has her super now, so... What I should be able to do is let loose a lot of damage now. So let's go ahead and activate that. Yeah, that definitely sounds like Lash. These new quotes have been pretty much good, for the most part. Okay, here we go. Doubled terrain stars. Yeah, that's what I like to see. Can we actually destroy the cannon or the copter from here? No, probably can't. Okay, so I'm gonna have to fire at this first, and then I can fire at one of the other copters, so that's pretty good. Yeah, there's just nothing for these units over here to do now unless I, like, lure a copter over here with a battleship. Okay, probably should have put the rocket on the, on a forest or something. No chance of that happening now. I'm going to focus on Adder's units, because I don't want to get Hawk to have his powers quite yet. Of course, he's kind of guarding Adder at the moment, so I think I'll focus on Flack as well. Right, this should allow me to get to the battleship in the back. Perfect. And that was a nice amount of damage. Unfortunately, I left the destroyer at 1 health. That's unfortunate. You and... Can a medium tank finish the job? No, not quite. Okay, medium tank it is. If I go over here, that's a lot of damage. Now actually, use a mech. Because mechs need some more time to shine. I could go down here. Get a boost from the forest. See, without cities, you can't really do a whole lot, because the woods are just giving you 4 stars with this power-up. Actually, if I'm careful, I think I could sneak into the enemy HQ, because there's not a lot guarding it right now. I want to avoid... I want to... I'll take 1 extra turn, because I can't drop right now. I would be in artillery range if I did that. So in the meantime, I'll just blockade like this. I'm getting double the terrain stars, of course. And over here, there's not much I can do, so I'll just do this. What is Flack going to do? He's got an exposed HQ, which is very typical for Flack, so this strategy makes a whole lot of sense. Hawk's turn. He's going to be messing up my units a little bit. That's unfortunate, but I think I'll be fine. Wait, where'd that... Oh, that medium tank must have been 2 spaces below. I think I'm seeing things. So where do those artillery go now? Okay, they're not going for the HQ, which is fine by me. Yeah, it is a little annoying that they can go through allied units. But I think I'm good to go so far. I suppose it might be a little annoying to wait for all of these cannons to fire, but it's fine. Alright. First thing I want to do is get rid of this. And then... I'll let the sub handle that. That's fine. That means the copters are free to attack the infantry. And now all Flack has left are these infantry. So if I can get to them, I'll be pretty much in the clear. I could have used the luck roll there, but whatever. Not there. That's in artillery range. Now, I suppose I could fire at one of the Neo-Tanks to get them off my back for a little bit. So destroy that, and that. I could probably rout Flack on the next turn, depends on what he does. But I am able to start capturing now. So I hope those artillery don't decide to try and protect the HQ. That would be unfortunate. Here I'm just going to get rid of the copter, and well, if I'm not careful, Adder could capture me. That wouldn't be good. But there's just not much all of the other units can do, so next turn. Oh, that's good positions for your infantry, Flack. Keep that up. I don't know why the one on the left didn't move. So he should keep going for the HQ, which is fine by me. Hawk doesn't see any reason to protect Flack. This is not good teamwork. Of course, I'm one to talk. I'm the one losing most of my units. Alright, so Adder is attempting some kind of counterattack. But it's just a little too late for these guys. That's good, I kind of need those units to get weakened. Alright. Destroy this. I think the Neo-Tank can reach all the way back here. Yeah, for sure. And I think that's game. Yeah, that is game. Lash wins because she defeated the weakest link in the chain here. And the others apparently just surrender, I guess. Ah, so Lash has been working for Sonya the entire time. A very interesting twist. Yep, Lash just wanted to have a little fun. Fun that involves the lives of countless soldiers, of course. But fun nonetheless. Very interesting. They want the spaceship. Maybe they're going to be the ones to leave the planet. And now the next map is going to be us taking the spaceship from Sturm, so that's going to be a fun ride. Oh, an A rank? Well, I guess I deserve that for losing so many units. But yeah, what a twist. Lash has conquered Black Hole essentially in 5 days, no less. That's a very fast time. And next up, we are going to take the spaceship from Sturm, so I'll see you for that. I'll be right back. Alright everyone, get comfy. I think we're going to be in for the long haul this time around. I have practiced this map off camera, and it's a bit of a doozy. We are playing as Sonya and Lash, and we're going to be facing Sturm. Not exactly the matchup that I like the most. You have to deal with Sonya's bad luck against Sturm's high defense, and Lash doesn't really get any big power-ups unless she's on a mountain or a city. And for some reason, this map, it has cities, so that's an improvement over the last one, but there are no roads for some reason. I don't know what Platinum Skink has against roads, but when you lack roads, it kind of makes it difficult to use rockets or missiles. And recons, for that matter. Of course, Sturm doesn't have that problem. But I could at least save the complaining about the actual level until we get there. So, Sonya and Lash have formed a bit of an uneasy alliance. Sonya is definitely aware that Lash basically manipulated her into doing this. But, yeah, as long as the punishment is interesting, I think Lash is okay with it. What would be an interesting punishment? Make her scrub all the floors in War's World, perhaps. Yeah, she's still kind of not happy about the relationship. Interestingly, Lash and Sonya have a tag bonus in Dual Strike, which I'm betting Platinum Skink was perfectly aware of. Though it's interesting that you would use those two as tag partners. I don't really see the synergy there in their raw abilities. So are we gonna get to the battle? They're still talking about it. Yes, as long as we attack him from both sides, we'll probably be alright. And now they're holding hands. Well, as long as it actually helps. Okay, finally. Mission 30. Like sisters. Well, okay. They are like sisters at this point. Yet again, I have to point out that the camera should really be on Sturm's forces in the center. Like, there is an option to move the camera. I think. Yeah, they are a pair that likes playing with things, apparently. Only I have the brains to rule Lilat. That made me think of Star Fox for some reason. It's really just the word brain. And I'm just filling time until the fight starts. There's really nothing to talk about, you guys. Oh yeah, and Hawk. I guess they're implying that Hawk warned Sturm ahead of time that this was coming, but that would be a really strange thing to do. Whatever the case, we have a time limit of 24 turns, and we just have to capture this one lab. So we should be able to handle it. So as you can see, we're basically attacking Sturm from both sides here. Sonya on the left and Lash on the right. Most of Sturm's units tend to go for Lash in particular, so I'm going to be building up her forces to deal with that. Sonya is basically going to divert the meteor. And for the first time in this ROM hack, we have an actual custom unit as soon as the camera goes over there. Wait, it's not going to, because the camera doesn't move when you build units. Okay, so apparently I have to look at it myself. So I will. It looks like an Uzium, but apparently this is a spaceship. I don't know what spaceship is shaped like Uzium, but it is black hole. So I really don't think I'm in a position to criticize them for it. So basically, this is just a stationary 2 to 4 range indirect unit that I think can attack anything at all. Here's its range. Luckily, the lab is right inside of its blind spot. It's not moving from this position, so don't worry about that. And it is sitting on an airport, so even if you decide to get a missile over here to actually shoot it down, I don't think a regular anti-air could get to it. It would be very difficult to actually take it down, I think, because it's getting back 2 HP every turn, and it is a pretty durable unit. We're not, the intention of this mission is not to destroy it, of course. That comes later in the final map. Spoiler alert. So let's just move on. Oh, this is, well, yet again, this is actually a little strange. The copter seems to be going left, but it's probably actually just protecting infantry. It has that AI setting. But either way, I'm going to just capture a bunch of stuff, and I'm going to make a couple of anti-airs just in case some air units come my way anyways. Sturm's air units are incredibly difficult to destroy. And missiles are just out of the question. I know they would do a lot more damage, but seriously, there's no roads, so I really can't move them at all. Unless I use Lash's powers. I guess that's something I could do. So I'm just gonna keep going with the usual plan for this mission, just to make those 2 anti-airs at the start. And then Sonia's gonna start working on... This B-copter is moving very strangely. I don't get it at all. So Sonia is gonna make artilleries in order to distract the meteor and to do some damage to the ground units. Meanwhile, Lash is going to focus on regular tanks and anti-airs. Well, actually, they're both going to be making anti-airs. I did that on impulse because I thought the copter was going left. Anyways, there's our first artillery. This is a map that I don't really have a specialized strategy or anything for. I just need to, like... I guess you could say I play it by ear. Just build units and move slowly across the map. Time to get the tanks going. And it's important to make a healthy amount of infantry as well, because we're going to be using AI manipulation strats with infantry quite a lot in this mission. And also, it is a mission where you actually have to capture something, so flooding him with infantry is probably a decent idea. Let's see here. So nothing really going after Sonia at the moment, but as soon as a bomber comes out, I think that will change. Sturm very often builds a bomber at some point, as well as a couple of other weird units, which I think you will see soon. Let's make an APC, because I need some kind of a transporter. Now here, I think I'm going to lure the tank away from its current position. Where can it go? It can hit either of these infantry, so let's put the tank here, and I guess choosing what position to build something from is very important. So I think this is fine. These anti-airs... Normally the copter would go to the right. I don't really know what it's doing, but I guess we can mess around with these guys a little. Okay, that's interesting. I almost said infantry for some reason. That's interesting that they split up their attacks. Instead of, like, all of them going for the same unit. They could have gotten a kill. And on this side, bomber definitely coming on the next turn. I'll be prepared for it. Now, I guess moving here is fine. Oh yeah, and since this isn't a Fog of War map, Sonia's kind of not that useful here. But it's alright. I can deal with it. Alright, Lash, what do you have? Yeah, I should probably have just moved that off the city so that I could hit the tank 2 times. But I wanted to hit this artillery anyways, so this is fine. Yeah, I'm moving this infantry off the base though. Go ahead and capture that instead. Yeah, I'm okay with this. I'm okay with that move. The tank is going to be stuck with the infantry up here, so I'm just going to hit the recon. The recon's probably going to mess around with me a lot more if I don't get rid of it. Storm recons. I know the pain of facing those now. Okay, this is good so far. And the medium tank's not really in a good position to defend the lab if it starts getting capped. So the bomber is likely to just move to the left as much as it can. So if I stay right here, it should be fine. The city is actually not in range. So I guess I'll go ahead and capture it. Capture that, and I should have money to spam artillery, but I need some more anti-airs, because you'll see that I take quite a lot of counterattack damage when attacking Sturm's bomber. So, these moves are alright. Where do I want this APC? Here's fine. And now time to make some more infantry and start ferrying them to the lab. Depending on how this goes, I might be able to just outright capture it early. But normally this takes like about 20 turns or something, which probably sounds like a long time, and it is. So this tank is finally gonna go away here. And the bomber is not... No, it's not in range of this. Go ahead and get rid of it. So yeah, this has gone very differently from most of my practice runs. But so far, it's nothing too dangerous. This tank cannot get out of there. How unfortunate for it. Do I just keep up the tanks? I think I need a backup anti-air, for sure. And this bomber is going to make Sturm's... No, the bomber's going there for some reason. That's actually really bad. How am I supposed to capture the lab? Oh yeah, also on this turn, he always builds an interceptor for some reason. There's literally no reason for him to build it. Like... I don't have any air units, I don't have any airports. The only way to get air units is to capture one of these airports, which would be really difficult, and I would basically have won the map already if I had gotten them. Right, so now that that infantry is basically gone, I'm going to set up artilleries around it. The medium tank is a very difficult unit to deal with, so I'm okay setting a trap for it. But how do I deal with a bomber now? It's going where I don't want it to. Maybe I should alert it away, I don't know. But I'm completely safe doing something like this, because I know the medium tank isn't going to hurt me, and none of the other units can hurt me. Alright, I suppose a regular tank or two wouldn't be unwelcome, so... Nah, I'll make another artillery. Because I might need meteor fodder. I'm not so sure now, but Sturm usually gets at least one meteor. Now, I wish I could get to the artillery, but that's not happening. Okay. Capture and... Let's see here. I guess I better fall back a little bit and, look at this defense. Sturm is just that difficult to deal with. When you don't have somebody like Max. Or literally anybody but these two, to be honest. Yeah, that's fine. But as long as I slowly build up my money and forces, I think I'll do alright in the end. Maybe Lash will be the one to capture the lab at this rate. I need some more anti-air for sure. The others are taking damage. I just have no idea what's up with these air units this time around. Like, consistently throughout this entire playthrough, every time I sit down to record a mission, something has gone far, far differently from what my practice runs have been like. It's so very strange. But as long as that... Oh, he's got a Neo-Tank. I've never had to deal with that in any of my test playthroughs. Nice. Okay, let's at least get rid of the medium tank as far as I'm able, at least. I'm just gonna completely ignore the Interceptor. There's no reason to actually, like, give Sturm all of that free charge. Free charge, free of charge. Or whatever the phrase is. This infantry will be forced to try and capture my property. So I'll leave him to do that. And it looks like building these artilleries was a good idea, because now that Sturm has a Neo-Tank coming, I really gotta find a way to deal with it. So let's just make this artillery spam. It's like Sonya has learned something from Grit, apparently. Meanwhile, over here, everything seems to be going smoothly. Capture that. Get ready to cap on the next turn. And blow this thing up while I'm at it. So yeah, this map just hasn't gone the way I expect it to at all. So very strange. Although I am getting to the point where I have a lot of units that need moving. It's taking a while for them to actually, like, move. Now, I guess that's due to infantry spam. I anticipate that I'm going to lose a lot of units, so this is mostly for tech score, I guess. Yep, the air units are moving very oddly. And it is, of course, very difficult to actually take the base in the center, because you have all of these units that are getting spawned on tiles that give them lots and lots of defense. Oh, no. That was a semi-misclick. I would have preferred to actually, like, capture the property, but I guess it's okay. Sometimes the button on my controller... I'm using a gamepad, right? So sometimes the buttons have been a little bit sticky lately. I'm tempted to try and destroy the recon, but there's a tank here, so maybe not. I don't really know what the Neo-Tank is going to try and hit, so I have to think of something here. Oh, it'll go after this infantry, won't it? Yeah, it will. Unless I do this. Now it can't. Probably prefer that. Yeah, I don't know what this interceptor it's doing. It's basically just going to sit on my HQ, eventually. And then it'll just sit there and do nothing. Meanwhile, Lash has a pretty clear path. I think it's time we actually dealt with those air units, so I'm gonna lure them in and shoot them down. And meanwhile, the rest of them will just move forward. I don't want to capture that city by the artillery, because the artillery is in range. Oh, I can get rid of one of the air units now. That's actually a good thing. But I am in range of the rocket. So, I need my tanks to come forward. Like, something tells me I might want to just leave all of these units here, and then the enemy might just not build anymore. I don't know. But they only have so many units they can actually attack with. That's the big disadvantage of playing with bombers and stuff. Where is Sturm's power, by the way? 7 stars. So... let's get 2 tanks. He's definitely going to have it very soon. Maybe on the next turn, even. Yeah, definitely on the next turn with the units in those positions. So we need to start doing some damage. Like, Neotanks might be weak against indirects, but not when they're Sturm indirects. Or, not when they're Sturm Neotanks. I'm losing it. See, bad luck has struck. And that rhymes. Oh no. I'm rhyming. That's a bad sign. Oh, what are these guys doing? I'm just gonna lose a bunch of units on the next turn, I think. Especially if a meteor comes up. Well, actually, the meteor is probably going to go for this clump right here, because that's a lot of units, and it should be much more enticing if I put a bunch of units together like this. Let's keep up with the artillery for now. At least Lash will be getting her powers soon. Yeah, and she can do a decent amount of damage to the bombers. So let's go here. Perfect. As for these guys, I need to get this out of the way. I could have done with a bit of... Well, I was hoping for some luck. I guess I could finish it off like that. Yeah, I should have done the anti-air first instead. Okay, actually, this works out pretty good. I can get rid of the rocket, and I'm in range of the, spaceship now. I'm actually wondering what its battle animation is going to be. I mean, I don't imagine Platinum Skink came up with a custom animation, because that's still kind of a tall order for Advanced Wars hacking. But it might be worth a little bit of amusement, so as soon as I finish moving all of these units, which is going to take a while because there's so many of them now, and I'll build... I just need more tanks. Okay, let's turn the animations on. Battle animation only. Yeah, he's got his power now, so watch what happens. Will it go for the left or the right? Probably the left, and probably that clump of indirects I made. Yep, exactly as planned. It's an APC animation. Oh, that's so beautiful. I'm glad I decided to test that. That was amazing. You know what the most amusing thing is if you give APCs some kind of damage, and then you make them fight each other. Always worth it. Of course, I am losing quite a bit of artillery now. So that's not good. Sonia's probably not going to be able to push for the HQ, or the lab, excuse me. For some reason, it's a lab. I'm not sure what difference that makes. I think the labs don't give income. Or they don't give repairs. I don't think they give repairs. You know, actually, Weird thing, if you have infantry fighting on a lab in battle animations, they don't make any noises when they walk. It's really weird. They must have forgotten to set a walking sound effect for labs, because who's gonna fight on a lab, right? They're in like 4 missions. And yeah, this turn is going way longer than it should, because I have animations on. Oh dear. Okay, let's turn those off. We've seen what we needed to. And now we need to find a way to deal with, like, this overpowered Sturm units, because, like, they're gonna take no damage on this turn. So, and if you go into this area as well, now the spaceship can actually fire at you, so I don't actually want to make any attacks this turn, I think. I mean, I can shoot with a couple of indirects, but look at this damage. This is just worth absolutely nothing. The meteor is still as annoying as ever. Oh, and I see that the medium tank up there is in repair mode, so that's helpful. I guess it's time to start building more units to replace them. And I do have quite a bit of money at this point, actually. Now, Lash has her super now. I don't know if I want to use it, because it would still... Like, I could get into position, but this would still not do a whole lot of damage to the enemy units. You know what? I'm just going to use it. I'm gonna turn your little world upside down. Because I really need the movement at this point. I do not want to be hindered by anything. And the double terrain stars also cause this attack to guarantee a one-shot, which is, well, not from that unit, from this unit. Okay. Was it the full HP that I was using on the city? Okay, there we go. Guess I'm not capturing that turn. And I can do this as well. That's still a decent amount of damage. Alright, so this was probably the right play. Because I can cut through some more units. Well, the anti-airs are actually, like, starting to run out of fuel and ammo. Not something you see every day. Can I get this? Yeah, I actually can. Cool. And if I am lucky, then the rocket will actually shoot at something and just sit there, which would be very helpful. And as for units, I just need more of this. I think a backup anti-air is in order. Okay, so the rocket just sat there. That's actually good. That'll stop him from building too many units out of the bases now. I stand corrected, apparently. There's still quite a lot of units there. Right, I've got counter break, so I'm gonna use it. So this should help out a little bit. I don't think Sturm has to really fear counterattack damage because of how high his defenses are. But I can shoot this down, or I can try to shoot it down. Thank you. And can I get past this infantry? No, probably not. But I'll try and shoot at it anyways. I'm gonna try and get in there and do some damage, but this is, getting quite hairy. And meanwhile, these guys are kind of busy fighting off these units. I don't know what I'm doing up there at this point. But I've got quite a bit of money. Let's make a medium tank. I need some kind of firepower with Sonya now. Lash is faring a lot better though, so let's try and get in there. I would really love to destroy this anti-air and start capping the base. So with these units, I should have enough firepower to do it. And I did. So I might be able to work on the lab if the rocket stays there. Lash is going to be the one to do the capturing this time. That's not how it usually goes. Usually Sonya just sneaks in there. Which is actually going to make the dialogue at the end a little bit weird, because sometimes the dialogue doesn't reflect how you play, and this map is going to probably be one of those times. I guess Sturm just really, at the end of the day, he can't handle, like, two sides at once. And as for these guys, well, the spaceship is going to shoot at something. Probably the infantry that's capturing the base, as a matter of fact. Maybe I shouldn't have actually, like, gone for the cap. Let's see here. Oh, no, it's fine. Because the big units are far away from the lab now. So this rocket will shoot at one of the capping infantry. That's good. And that was expected, but I should be able to actually start capturing the lab. So I think I've basically won. Okay, that's a weird spot for the infantry to be in, that's for sure. And I've got anti-airs in case he builds air units. Okay. So first things first, I definitely want to shoot that down. I am having some bad luck today. Yeah, I want to do that. And capture this as a distraction, capture this as a distraction. And, yeah, I got no idea what all of my other units are supposed to do here now. I guess I just spam for technique. I mean, if I can even do that, yeah, actually, I think my score is going to depend on Lash's score, not Sonya's. Okay, so as long as the infantry does not take any damage, I am perfectly safe, and I don't really think there's any way for Sturm to do much to it. Especially since I'm going to just be running over his rocket. I can't destroy it, but... Oh, I can destroy it. Cool. So block this. And cap that. Block and fire. And I can cap this too. I don't know why I'm capping things. The map is basically over. He certainly won't get another meteor. I think he's much too far away from it. Spam some infantry. Oh, he was pretty close. 3 stars is nothing to laugh at. He could achieve that. I mean, he won't, but it is possible, and he's not going to fire it on his turn anyways. Okay, so that's going to be the end of that. I don't think anything Sonya does matters at this point, so... I've been talking about my tech score, but again, I don't really care for my score in a campaign mission, but I will just build some stuff, and then we'll see what the score was. So that's mission 30 done. Now there are only 4 missions left in the game. Lash did not build any artillery, so I don't... What group headed straight for Lash are you... Yeah, so this is what I mean by dialogue not exactly reflecting how you play. Wow, now that is a gutsy move. Just open fire on Sturm. And now they're, like, real friends. Just like sisters, like the mission title said. Anybody could notice that, Sonya. Of course, that does leave the question of where do we go from here? What's the next mission going to be like? Well, I'll have to leave that for the next video, and there's only going to be 2 videos left in this playthrough. I always get that weird feeling when I'm at the end of a playthrough. I mean, there's probably still going to be Advance Wars content for me to make. Oh, that was a terrible score. Yeah, I guess Lash had a really low power score, too. But with that out of the way, only 15 turns, that's a nice speed at least. With that out of the way, next up we have missions in Yellow Comet and Green Earth, so in the next video, we'll see what that's all about. Only 2 videos left. Later, everybody.